Skyrim. No series has ever been milked harder than Bethesda's cash cow. But with a game so enshrined in not only video game culture, but just culture in general, I decided to go back and do something I've never done in this series before. Some might call me a madman, I call it an excuse to act on my lust for Serana in the Dawnguard DLC, but I digress. I'm playing every questline in Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, aside from just the main questline, including the guild questlines, which, yeah, that's gonna take a lot of time, so this video is actually split into two parts. And you know what? This series is called Video Games on Crack, so let's do some actual crack. Legally, of course, no drugs, Susan. Don't act me, I love YouTube, and believe it's always in the right. Hail Comrade Susan and the UV at Tubian's next 4-year plan. Also, I'm playing in third person this entire time, because I might as well go deeper than a Johnny Sins production into the crackery, because mama ain't raised no puta. We ain't snorting lines today, we're sniffing the entire damn brick. Now, before we start, catastrophe struck. The dreaded cart bug. Yup, instead of the regular opening scene, I'm deep-throating the cart driver, as the dragon porn is apparently canonically gay now. And I say, yeah, I'm just gonna use the Live Another Life mod. I pick my favorite faction, the Red Guards, and pick a guy looking like he's straight out of Compton, while giving a rule of life everyone in the world should be following. I decide to escape the cell because I'm all about breaking the third wall before grabbing a woodcutter's axe and oh my god, I wasn't expecting CCP critics this early on, until I realize,
wait a minute,
I'm the main character. Come here, bitch, as we make our first shirt of the day. I deck out in some stripper gear before making my way outside, and there's an abandoned house that had a one-night stand with a tree, and Lucky Lorenz. God, that's ironic. Wait a minute. That's a Durag. Yo, Skyrim.
Wave check, nigga.
Talk to me nice.
Wave check.
Shit.
Looks like I need to wait a while for the waves, though. We do everything our moms told us we're supposed to, accept a drink from a stranger, follow in the footsteps of Michael Vick, and send my mugger to a live Mozart performance. We get to Whiterun and are too slow to help kill the giant, so the bangable furry says my spirit animal is a pussy, a cat, which always stings, and I hire the carriage to Riften. Yes, I'm doing the guilds before Dawnguard, because I want to deck out my build. This guy tries to shake me down, but I go, what? You want me to pay a toll? Like illegal corruption?
Keep your voice down. You want everyone to hear you?
And even weirder, we get this guy gagging on Blackbriar nutsack. Bro, she won't fuck you. I guess Riften is the Compton of Skyrim. We get to Brynjolf, who tells me to get my bands up, and me and him hatch a plan together for the most devious of licks. We plant the ring on this dark elf who goes to jail, and Brynjolf is like, you know what? You're a scumbag. I like that. Come to my secret base. Through the ratways, I use my mace as a dildo for these two dunces forgetting I'm the main character, and beat up on the other enemy. Oh! Before getting back to Brynjolf, who's looking absolutely submissive and breedable in that armor, might I add, and he sends me to collect protection payment, because people don't fear the Thieves Guild anymore. Yeah, I was kinda joking about the whole Compton thing, but this is most definitely Skyrim's Compton. A lick, shakedowns, and now protection money in the first 20 minutes. The Manscaped critic won't pay up, so I break his vase to convince him. I then threaten this lizard after her husband told on her for some reason, you absolute rat, and Helga goes, whoa, I must have been mistaken. Take my money, you won't have any more problems from me, sir. After getting my gang street cred up, I go to Brynjolf, who tells me it's induction time, baby. As the leader, Mercer Frey, lets me join the Crips, and for my hazing ritual, I have to burn down a bee farm who stopped supplying honey to our main benefactor, the Blackbriars, so we gotta teach him a lesson. Vex and Delvin are the other main characters of this quest line, before I finally get the fit to start representing my gang properly.
Wave check, nigga.
Talk to me nice.
Wave check.
Shit.
I keep the Durag on because I still lack waves and make my way to the bee farm, which isn't too hard. You sneak in through the sewers, you break in, kill some guards, lockpick the safe, realize you're out of luck. I go back to buy some lockpicks, get the bill of sale from Gaju Lee, remember that name, and burn the beehives down. Brynjolf tells me Maven Blackbriar wants me, and after shitting my panties, I realize it's for business. She says she has a competitor who's stealing her sales, and since Teddy Roosevelt isn't a thing in this universe, I gotta go make sure her monopoly stays through illicit actions. I get to her contact in Whiterun, which deserves its own intro as it might not be the best city, but it is the most iconic. Anyways, Malice tells us that the hunting broom meter winery has a rat problem, and after getting hired to take out the rats, I should poison the mead. This mission is kinda hard for my level 2 butt, so I Chris Brown, Uthgard, and then gaslight her into joining my dangerous escapades after robbing her dry. Anyways, Sabjorn gives me the poison, and I go, kill the rats, some spiders, and we get to the hard section with the mage who always seems to give me trouble, so I summon a Storm Atronach, send my companion after him, and go all out. And yeah, it was pretty easy. This guy had an interesting story. He's actually breeding skeevers because Whiterun shunned him, and he's building a rat army for revenge. Now, I know that kind of sounds like a kid saying he'd run away from home because mom took away his Xbox, but I kind of want to see this timeline play out. I poison the mead, and Sabjorn gets arrested after giving Commander the rapid fire shits. I get the info Maven wants, and get back to Mercer, who wants me to check out Gajul G, or Gajul Lee. I get to the Hold's capital, where this dude's getting his head chopped off for saying the Mage's Guild was a good quest line. Gulum E starts talking after I get him some fancy wine, but he says little that's actually useful, and I feel like he's being fishy. I stalk him like the average tier 3 Alinity subscriber before I get distracted with my own tier 3 subscription tendencies. But they called me creepy, and police help he's naked, and whatever, so I track the lizard to the East Empire warehouse, and oh my god, it's can I have your autograph? I track the lizard to a secret black market, kill some goons with my gaslit ally, and get to Oh my.
Out like a light, hey, like a light.
Who starts talking like a suspect after the cops bring out the fast food. After he tells me Karliah is behind this and says she's going to where the end started, and you'll tell Mercer Frey I've been a good boy, right? I go back to Mercer, who's like, aight, let's go kill her. We go to where the end started, which will make sense shortly, and me and Mercer tag team to violate these Draugr, with consent of course, and after he drops my jaw by unlocking a Dragonclaw door, I get shot. I witness everything where apparently Karliah was the good guy this entire time, and Mercer actually killed the previous leader after he was caught skimming some profit off the top like the average US senator. Now, they were a part of a gang called the Nightingales, which is like an inner circle of the Thieves Guild, and Karliah and Gallus had a thing, so she wants her revenge. Enough backstory though, he stabs me afterwards. Karliah revives me, and apparently I didn't gaslight her enough. I could have died. Next part is trying to decipher the journal Karliah gave me, which will prove her innocence and indict Mercer, and Enthyr tells me to get a translation from Markarth, my favorite city in the entire game, with my favorite quest line that will come up at the end in the side quests. I save this lady who doesn't blow it then put it in like a Nintendo cartridge, so I guess porn really is fake, and Calcelmo won't tell me some damn translations, so I rob his key, sneak in, and after messing up some of the ops, tragedy struck.
I still see your shadow.
After my roleplay of an abusive boyfriend reaches its climactic finale, I get the tablet, kill some more goons, and uh-oh, it looks like I'm wanted by everyone in Riften, but I get away and make it to the gate, and am finally free.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
After Death brushes up against my nut hairs, Enthyr translates the journal, Karliah gives me a sweet blade that foreshadows the future, and we meet the guild, who I'm ready to mess up in a fight. Come here, Bryn. Apparently Mercer robbed them blind when they weren't looking, took everything really, couldn't be me, and I'm tasked with finding out where he's going. So I break into his house, find the evidence, and we get my second favorite sword in this game. Me and Brynjolf are ready to go before Karliah says, yeah, he's gonna mess us up, we have no chance right now. Let's get some superpowers, and she takes us to Nocturnal's abode where we become Nightingales. And let me just say, this is the most exciting part of the game. The Nightingales have the coolest armor in the game. God damn it, if you never went through an emo phase in life, now's your chance. This armor's fantastic. Before we do that though, we need one last wave check. And dear God, Allah, Jesus, Zeus, Neptune, Pluto, I'm looking absolutely submissive and breedable as I try to hold back the uncontrollable urge to ejaculate. Apparently Mercer stole the skeleton key, which is the best key in the game, letting you unlock anything ever, and part of the reason why the guild has been out of luck recently. Also, they named me the leader of the Thieves Guild 2 hours after meeting me, as is Skyrim tradition, and we go to the Eyes of the Thalmor, Mercer's last heist, which will set him up for decades. Kill some No, we won't. Looks like Mercer's been here. And this guy tries to tell me who did it before Okay, that was funny as hell. Mercer taunts us from all the way back down there, and I can't have none of that shit, so we fuck up some Falmore, an already near extinct species, so I'm really reaching PETA levels of animal cruelty right now. And, okay, we just have to fight the goddamn robot from Legend of Korra now, I guess. Fuck me. We use the Falmore in the area as human meat shields before taking out the Centurion, and after some more Falmore who may or may not have violated the 4th article of the Geneva Suggestion, we get to Mercer. But the platform I'm in falls down, so I have to 1v1 him, while the other two apparently watch or something. I don't know, they left me for dry. Anyways, after killing him, I shove my balls in his mouth asserting dominance after sending him to get punished by Nocturnal, and we escape the flooding zone. After that, we're done. We won, right? Wrong. We still have to go alone because the others are pussies and return the skeleton key ourselves. The Twilight Sepulchre is our destination, and Gallus, the dude Mercer Frey killed and Carlia's boyfriend, is apparently the only Nightingale who isn't corrupted, so he sends me off to fight the swarms of Nightingale with a pat on the back and you got this buddy with a thumbs up. And these dudes are strong. It could be because I'm a little underleveled because I did the Thieves Guild first, but it took me a couple of tries and then it gets easier as we get to this area where the sun will kill you if you stand in it too long, so you have to stick to the shadows kind of like a thief. Oh. I get to the statue of Nocturnal and damn, no wonder she's treated like a goddess. If she walked up to me looking like that, I'd
Singing the hymns. He's trying to get
Finally, we get to the hole, and I think, yeah, sure, I could probably think of 13 reasons. As I jump down there until, unfortunately, realize that I have the skeleton key, and I use that to get into Nocturnal's inner sanctum. We get the key back, and Nocturnal comes back to our plane of existence, but is pretty mean as she verbally abuses me, but doesn't physically step on me, so I was pretty disappointed, 5 out of 10. She congratulates me on a job well done, and I try to seduce her, but I forget I have no game whatsoever, and got shot down immediately. You know what? I'm just gonna let Stephen A. explain it all.
This man was a bona fide scrub. He can't play. No disrespect whatsoever, but I'm sorry to tell everybody the truth. Doesn't really know what he's doing. Doesn't have a move that he puts to memory that he can do 2 times in a row. He has no game whatsoever. Plays no defense.
As she has to go punish Mercer for being a naughty boy.
It should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
See this guy? What a loser. Don't be like this guy. Instead, become a TCLR subscriber, which will not only give you any woman, man, but also give you Nocturnal's luck in real life, giving you more success than you could ever wish for, and more importantly, to not miss out on future content, so leave a like and subscribe to get this once-in-a-lifetime offer. I get to pick one power, so I go Subterfuge, because I'm already role-playing a manipulative Chris Rock in this game, so why not go all the way? Carlia has a heartfelt moment with Gallus, and that's the Thieves Guild. Pretty good questline overall. I know some people don't like it, but it was interesting, aside from maybe the Twilight Sepulchre stuff, which felt a little much and pushed the game too long, since the main villain was already dead and whatnot, but aside from that, I personally loved the questline. I can't say the same for the next one, though. It's College of Winterhold time, and oh my goodness, this questline is so garbage.
Bro, you're trash, bro.
In fact, I'm not even going to go through this torture. Now, if you guys really want me to do it, I will next video, because it's only like 2 hours, but yeah, I'll only do the start where I'm a college student, and like in real life, they try to rob me every chance they get. And we get a campus tour before our first lesson, where we learn to ward with the other students before making our way to an ancient ruin, where, oh no, I'm trapped. Apparently, I'm now some part of this stupid prophecy where we kill some Draugr and get to the sphere thingy. After wiping out the Galderson guy, I'm told to go back and tell the headmaster about this giant sphere, and yeah, for sure, I'll be back in a jiffy, you just wait right there, I won't take long. I didn't come back, because now I can get who I want from this quest line, J'zargo. I do a small quest for him, and now to answer the question of why would I want some Khajiit, whose first half of his name sounds like a metaphor for semen. Well,
J'zargo hopes to find things that will make him a more powerful mage here. Hopefully small things that fit inside pockets and will not be noticed if they are missing. If anyone sneaks up on us, I'll smell them coming. Or I might not. We will see.
also, I kind of want to be a conjurer this game, so I get the Summon Flame Atronach spell from this guy, and I'm done with the college. Next up, the companions. Hey, they beat them. Beat their ass, knock him out. Okay. Me and J'zargo just vibing while these two throwing hands as the Dark Elf gets schlumped. Hope you know how to handle. You got the melatonin to the hypothalamus, and you're trying to ask me if I can handle myself. Maybe if you spend some time in the weight room with those spaghetti noodle ass arms instead of grandstanding, you can hold your own next time. I join the companions who have a pretty meh storyline in my opinion. First off, Farkas asks me to beat his ass in some femdom kink or something before I get to do some errands for the companions. The problem with this quest line is that the developers seem to have gotten bored or something, and half the time you're just doing side quests to pad out the timing, which aren't even fun. It's dungeon crawling, and the main quests are literally just full-on dungeon crawls anyways, and it has a decent but really subpar story. After being a water boy delivering weapons, I get my first quest. Find 6 pelts as we Afterwards, we get a rescue quest. Finally, we can get to the good stuff. Skewer tells me I need to collect a fragment of Wuthgard for this ancient battle axe, and Farkas is coming with me. We get there, and it's another dungeon crawl, killing some Draugr until I get more stuck than a stepsister in a washing machine, and oh my god, it's a dragon. After sending the silver hand tug and the fragment, we come back home, and I get this hazing ritual for the companions, and I'm part of the inner circle now. After more side quests, which is like half the main storyline at this point, Skewer tells me to meet him in the inner forge in a secluded place for free candy. Now, he does fit the description of an average pedo, and on the one hand, I'll make it a new DLC that adds inches to the width of my rectum, but on the other, he might have arrow bars, so I take the chance. Turns out they just ask if I want more power, and despite me only needing a couple drops from Nocturnal's milkers for sustenance, I say, yeah, why not? I'll join your furry convention and get turned into a werewolf, where I run Roughshed through the town for like 3 minutes before I wake up next to Ayla after passing out. Now, she definitely seems like the type to wear a strap-on, so I might have gotten those extra inches after all, but I guess we'll never know. For the party, not a regular one, we're furries, remember? We celebrate by taking out some werewolf hunters. Another dungeon crawl with Ayla this time until we get to the Skinner, who's got a wicked name, and Skewer's dead corpse, R.I.P. I know this is supposed to be a sad moment, but honestly, we haven't done anything with Skewer, so it's like, no one cares. At least I don't. It's sad, obviously, and me and Ayla do drive by the Ops' block for the next mission as we get revenge, but as the player, you don't have the bond with Skewer, so you don't really care. After more side quests, I do a mission for Kodlak, the leader, who doesn't want to be a werewolf, because when he dies, he doesn't want Hurricane's hunting grounds, he wants Valhalla. I mean Sovngarde, but pretty much Valhalla for Nords. So he tells me how the witches are the reason for their curse/blessing, up for interpretation, and I have to go kill a witch, or all 3, and grab one of their heads to find out how to reverse the curse. I do just that and come back to find a Silverhand assault on the guild, where they killed Kodlak. Now, a plot hole might emerge in your mind. How did the Silverhand get past the guards? Did they sneak by? But you have to realize that all these guards share a single chromosome amongst themselves, so I wouldn't be surprised if they just strolled through the front gates like Schmittler strolled through France. Kodlak's death stings a little more because Kodlak inducted us into the guild, but again, we did like one mission for him and had 2 conversations. I wasn't exactly throwing myself on the ground like,
It should have been me, not him!
The Thalmor jumped me out of nowhere, but I'm never caught lacking and keep the chill rend handy for situations like these. We then go to retrieve the stolen fragments for Ysgramor's battle axe. Ysgramor is the hero of the Nords, founder of the Companions, just think of him as Alexander the Great, I guess, and wipe out the Silverhand's main base. We get to Kodlak's funeral, and you know Skewer's punching the air right now since we didn't even bury his body. And the remaining members of the circle meet to discuss the next move before the blacksmith brings us the weapons of Ysgramor all repaired. We decide to go to the tomb of Wuthrad to try to help Kodlak get to Sovngarde as he would have wanted, and I'm chosen to bring this battle axe into battle, which, you know, I'm not even strong enough for the 2-handed weapon, I only jack off with one. But we go to the tomb, take out the companion ghosts defending it, and get to Kodlak's ghosts, who's been hiding here with other Sovngarde refugees who don't want to hunt Hurricane. We throw the witch's head into the fire, kill the wolf spirit, and release Kodlak to Valhalla. That's pretty much the companions. It wasn't bad, it wasn't like College of Winterhold. Dear God, every time I say that, my hand moves closer to the razor blades, but it was just Skyrim, if that makes sense. It's obvious not a lot of time was put into this guild for some reason, as there were only 6 main quests, and the time was padded out by like 4 to 5 side missions for filler, and even then it was a 2-hour quest line in total, and all the quests were just random dungeon crawls. I would have liked if maybe you could join the Silverhand to wipe out the werewolf threat, but again, it wasn't a bad quest line. It's just Skyrim, so the dungeon crawls weren't exactly bad, but there was no unique gameplay like Thieves Guild, forcing shops to pay protection money, driving a business away to help keep a monopoly, escaping a flooded cave, looking up Nocturnal NSF It just felt like doing what you've been doing with Skyrim and just clearing out dungeons even in the main quest. Now for the Dark Brotherhood, the consensus best quest line, and I'm inclined to agree. We break into a little kid's house where he's home alone.
How you doing? All right, how are you? Have a seat over in that chair, please. Good, please sit down. Put your hands up top so I can see them. What are you doing here?
Just coming to meet somebody.
Who are you coming to meet?
Some kid is performing the Black Sacrament, trying to get the Dark Brotherhoods to murder the shitty orphanage nanny, and I say, yeah, sure, I'm down for murder. We go kill Grelod, the ironically named kind, and the kids start Fortnite dancing over her body, with me and Jazargo vibing as the heroes, and this assistant nanny just freaking out, which was pretty funny. After that, you get a silver platter as your reward from the kid, and I wait 3 days and get the message of we know. So I decide now's a perfect time to take a nap, since the IRS is coming. Okay, forget the bit about the IRS. Now, Astrid doesn't want to kill me. She just says, you know, you did a great job and all, but you kind of stole our kill. And like a bronze player in League of Legends, she threw a fit. I had to make up for that kill by killing another person. It doesn't make sense since I stole your previous kill. How does me doing that again make up for it? But okay. I could just kill all 3 people or any one of them. It doesn't matter. But I decide to try to deduce who I think is the real contract. And where 2 of them are threatening, the one who's actually called, you know, the Fearless is shitting his pants. Now, why would the Fearless be acting so scared? Probably because he knows someone is out to get him, so I pick him. Astrid says, congrats, you murdered an innocent, and let me leave with an invitation to the Dark Brotherhood. I go, but Jazargo can't come, so he just sits outside the door, and we get inducted by Astrid. We come down to a little girl who's actually a 1,000-year-old demon telling a story. No! Stop! I swear to God, no! No! And the other members. I get my first contract, which are side missions for Nazim, but unlike companion side missions, I have to go murder innocents, so it's not some dungeon crawl and is actually interesting. The other thing is these characters have depth. Each one is well written and actually do missions for you, and with the extensive dialogue and story for each one, they're actually interesting. They even got a pet spider. I mean, come on, look at him. He's so cute. We downright murder the 3 people in cold blood, no hesitation, Jack the Ripper style, and come back to some clown, like an actual jester, with a coffin saying something about Night Mothers and tradition. Cicero's a really cool character who adds a lot of flavor to the Dark Brotherhood, and we'll get to him later. Next mission, we meet with Muri, who wants Elaine, a bandit leader, dead. After doing all that, Astrid wants me to spy on Cicero and the Night Mother, so I end up hiding in her coffin. I end up getting chosen as the listener by the Night Mother before Cicero finds out and gets mad since he thinks I'm a necrophiliac, but when I tell him I'm the listener, he gives us that little dance. Hey! The Night Mother told me to go to some cavern, but I have to do some side quests first. The vampires were easy, but the bard wouldn't leave to a secluded area, so I killed him with witnesses and fled the scene. Sorry, Jazargo, you're on your own. I get back and am told to do what the Night Mother says and meet Amon Motier. Amon wants me to kill the Emperor and give me a jewel and a plan. I give the letter to Astrid and go meet up with my old gang, the Crips, again for Delvin to appraise the necklace, which is real and expensive. First off, I have to kill the Emperor's niece at a wedding. I decide my Nightingale armor is too godly for the mortals at the wedding, so I dress into more appropriate attire. After showing the bride and the groom the size of my TCLR subscriber-induced schlong to make the sex awkward later, I climb up, find a bow, and put the bride on a shirt. Vizarum ends up coming to hold off the guards as he 1v9s the shit out of that, and I drag my naked ass back home. With the bride dead, the Emperor's come into solitude for the funeral, and I have to make sure his security is flawed. Me and Gabriella hatch a scheme to kill the commander's son and plant evidence implicating him on a plot to kill the Emperor to send him into grief and undermine the defenses. I give Marrow that night quill before coming home and finding out that Cicero went crazy than usual. He attacked Astrid and Vizarod defended her, and Astrid's husband went after Cicero. I go after them, but not before getting Shadowmere, the best unkillable horse in the game, although we get a better steed later. We get to the Dawnstar Sanctuary, where I learn the passphrase from Cicero's journal and find Abjorn wounded, so it's up to me. And
Jazargo.
We go through Cicero's traps and finally find the jester lying on the floor defenseless. Now you have a choice. Spare his life or kill him. So what was my choice? One that will surely be debated by philosophers and YouTubers for millennia. I spared him. It's time to finish the prep, and to do that, I need to hone my French. I surrender! Festus says I will find the identity of the gourmet, the Emperor's chef, impersonate him, and poison the Emperor's food. No one knows who the gourmet is or looks like, and so I go to Markarth and promise this cook I won't kill him if he just tells me the name, and then I kill him afterwards. I get to the gourmet who was an orc, so that's probably why I kept it a secret, I guess, and kill him. Jazargo, no! I kill the cook and take his rite of passage, and after that, it's time to kill an emperor. I feel too uncreative and restricted with this armor on. Magnifique! I go into the kitchen and get to work making a meal fit for an emperor. After the emperor eats my special sauce, I swipe his clothes for a quick Amazon resell later and bolt. Killing his son wasn't the best idea, it seems, as my naked ass and J'zargo take out his guards, and then he says he's going to attack the sanctuary as the emperor we killed was actually a body double. We go to the sanctuary and it's on fire. Everyone is dead. With Legion swarming, we take them out, but then... Liz!
It should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
I find Nazim, as surprisingly the black guy wasn't first to die this time, and we fight our way out before I hide in the Night Mother's coffin. Nazim and Babette, the only survivors, end up pulling me out, who definitely think I smash corpses now, no doubt about it, as we find Astrid burnt and skinned alive, who was actually the one who betrayed us. She wanted us gone for some reason and thought it would keep the sanctuary safe. Boy was she wrong, and wants us to finish the job with her blade. The Night Mother tells me the Emperor plot is still on, as Nazim goes to set up the Dawnstar Sanctuary as our new base. I go to Amand, who tells me the Emperor is on a ship, and I bolt. Apparently I'm Jesus now, as I walk on water before making it in by climbing up a chain. We kill some guards and get to the Emperor, who's wearing blackface now, so I probably don't even need to murder him at this point. Just post it on Twitter, honestly, and they'll get him for me. Anyways, he's chill about it and wants me to kill whoever ordered the hit, and I think, aye. So I kill the Emperor, take the authentic robes for the resell this time, get to Amand, and kill him too. The reward for killing the Emperor? 20,000 gold coins.
Oh my god!
I get to Nazim, who's like, man, we can outfit this entire place with that. Go talk to Delvin, he knows a guy. And I laugh in his face as I take the guild's funds in a corruption scandal that would make Nancy proud. Aye, Cicero's alive. And while I can now use him as a companion, no one replaces J'zargo. A great questline overall, we developed bonds, went through ups and downs with a plot twist that makes sense, and a great payoff that was definitely the best guild questline in the game, and one of my favorite in the game, period. And now for the Dawnguard DLC. About that one, it's story time, and unlike Tana, he fucked me with a toothbrush after my Uber driver kidnapped me and forced me to marry a member of ISIS. This one is actually real. I played through most of the Dawnguard DLC, about 7 hours worth straight of recording with no breaks. I got to minimal spoilers, I guess, ahead. Not really, though. I get to the place where you fill 5 pitchers of water, and my PC crashed. Now, you might be thinking, so what? Well, when I record on OBS, I record MP4 for convenience. The thing with MP4, though, is if your PC crashes while recording, you lose all the footage. I was recording for 7 hours straight. I think you know what happened.
It's not fair!
So I rage quit and said fuck it, don't want to play anymore, so I'll just add the Dawnguard and all main quest lines in part 2. So if you want to watch me simp for Serana, like and subscribe to not miss out on the next video. Anyway, let's end it off with some of my favorite side quests. We got Malug Ball. Some vigilant dude I had to spawn in gets a quest to explore the mysterious house. Super powerful Daedra ends up forcing us to fight to the death, but I send my goons after him. I get a quest to go save a Desecrator from the Forsworn to beat him to submission, kill him, revived, and then beat him into submission again.
It is even funnier the second time.
I get a super powerful Mace of Malug Ball as a reward too, so that's pretty neat. Next up is
a new hand touches the beacon.
Meridia's beacon can be found in any chest. We have to return it, and the god gives us a quest. Kill the necromancer who brought darkness to her light place or whatever. We kill some souls and fix the beacons in a typical Skyrim dungeon quest before killing the Desecrator. It's not very interesting, but it has my favorite weapon in the game, Dawnbreaker, which I'm using exclusively for the second video. Lastly, we have Sidna Mines, probably my favorite quest in the entire game. The Forsworn murder I saved earlier starts it with Eltris giving me a note to meet him in the Shrine of Talos. He tells me there's something going on and the guards won't stop it, and they killed his dad and he wants answers. I asked the girl who I saved, who ends up being an agent for the Empire, and says the Silverbloods are behind it. I get a guard telling me to piss off, and I realize,
that's kinda tricky. Something is fishy.
I explore the murderer Wayne's last abode, and I find orders from a guy named N. This goon shows up, and I beat his ass before he tells me N is Napos the Nose. I go to the Silverblood Inn, where the man won't say a word to me before his wife gets schlumped by, apparently, his pet Forsworn leader who he's held captive in his mind as free labor. Think a Chinese sweatshop. I go to Napos, who explains everything and how he sent young men to their deaths on the order of King Madanok, the Forsworn leader giving orders from the prison in exchange for keeping the Forsworn at bay, I guess. Why is he telling me this? Well, he gives this line. I kill him, go back to Eltris, who's missing, as the guards arrest me. In Cidhna mines you work, and most of them are Forsworn rebels. I get some skooma, use it to pay for a shiv, and pay the orc with the shiv to meet Madanach. Madanach tells me to listen to this dude's sad Doofenshmirtz-style story where they killed his daughter. Sad story convinces us to side with Madanach, who wants us to kill another thief to ensure loyalty to him. We escape through the dwarven ruins and watch as they fight their way through the cities. Not me though, because I'm done giving 3,000 bounties to clear my name after every illegal activity.